You know, I think we're getting close to the end here, but something's just not quite right. Well, clearly we know that is upside down. It's definitely 100% not the right way to put the nail. It kind of gives you an idea what it would look like. Put the taillights on the bottom. Yeah, not for me, but what we're going to do, how to get that thing welded in. Got it all test fitted, love the fitment, but now we got to make it permanent. And this is the cool part. This is the tail end of the project. So the tail panel is the last piece I need to weld in on this body shell. And then we're going to have it all sandblasted, media blasted, cleaned up, primer it, and then start doing some body working. Sounds pretty cool. And we can also tear into that engine, but that's a different video for a different day. I know I say that a lot, but it's what it is. But anyway, let's get this thing going. Got a couple little things we got to tie up loose ends while I try to put this on, but let's get this thing going. Okay, here's what we're talking about. These little things here, they go inside the quarter panel as a brace for a little more structure when you bolt the bumper on. But this is interesting. I recycled these off this car. One has like a backing plate on it, and the other one doesn't. I assure you, this is how I removed them, so kind of strange. I used to see them like this. This one's a little different. But anyway, I'm going to put them back on the car. Now I'm being kind of silly, but this is the factory spot weld. I literally pried it off the outside, so I'm only going to pre-drill the hole. I'm just going to tack weld that thing right there in the middle, and then not actually weld all the way through. So if you look inside here, and I'm being particular, it looked like it was never removed, so make you think a little more. But this one was on this side, the one without the backer was on the driver's side. So if you've ever seen that before, let me know in the old comments down there. But that's the first time I've witnessed that little backer on it. But I got a whole lot more shoulder room to weld those in right now, so I'm gonna buzz those in, then we'll put the tail panel on the back of this thing and get to welding that. Now how I plan to do this is pretty self-explanatory. So I drilled a hole on the outside. I'm just gonna use a nut and a bolt to clamp it into place. That way it'll stay while I weld it. Alright, I've got those both welded in now. I'm happy. I said now by the time I sandblast to paint that, it's really going to look like it was never removed. That was kind of the goal. Now, we remember here we did some work on this. This is all weld through primer and ready to go back together. Did a little doctoring on that, and we had the gap over here. Got it welded shut, so that's going to be okay. And same thing, got the weld through primer hanging out here on the inside. So next thing is we'll go ahead and put the panel back up into place. And then the other things you need to make sure you've already done. I've actually welded the outer quarter panel to the trunk drop-off, which then ties into the inner tail panel. So these are all welded together and not going anywhere. So we'll get this thing fitted back up into place, get it clamped, and I'll show you something else that I actually remember to do this time. So I actually remember to, check this out. Here's our panel, pre-drilled the end of it here, so that way welding it goes a whole lot easier. All right, well, here goes nothing. Hopefully this goes back into place relatively smooth, but I don't know. We'll put it out here. Here. Hold that in place, hopefully. All kind of alignment pins. Forward. We'll get you up close so you can see what I'm talking about, because obviously out there on TV land it's not quite the same. But here's that body line. I said it goes all the way around the whole side of the car. You start right from my finger, it lines right up. Both sides are the same way. So that's like us. I should have stressed that maybe more when installing a tail panel. This is a point of reference. Clamp it here first and work your way around. And that's how my trunk lined up really good. But as you can see here, this pulls up pretty tight. A little bit of a gap there, but not bad. I mean, we're talking about repop panel. I could probably clamp that on the inside and get that to close up. Put the one screw in here, pulled up nice and tight and clean. So that's looking real good. So I'm gonna put some screws through here across the middle. That secures the tail panel to the trunk pan. And look at this body line here. Nice, clean, tight. I like the looks of that. And that's the thing that just, to me, sets a car apart. That opening or that gap there should be nice, clean, and tight. Not filled over, not actually closed, because you don't actually put seam sealer in this. It's actually exposed just as you see it here. And we've got the same thing going on the driver's side here. We've got Same thing, we got the body panel pulled up nice, clean and tight, follows the radius. So AMD, you know, they didn't do me wrong here. Same thing, here's that body line, lines up, little reference mark. Our radius here looks pretty tight, looking really good. Like I said, we cut the quarter panel through here, so there's a little bit of blemishes, so a little filler work. I'm not perfect at this stuff, but very minimal filler. Now we go through here now and put all of our screws in and commence to weld. Oh yeah, sorry, I want to show you here on the inside. Now where I pre-drilled all these holes, this is why. So I can come in through here now, I'll just kind of put my little spot welds into all those, and that'll tie, this is the quarter panel to our tail panel, all the way around the whole radius up to the top up here where the vice grips are at. And then I'll come through here and we'll actually clamp this and weld that to the gutter too. So a couple holes here. So spot weld, it's probably 4 all through this all together, maybe 3. And then we'll go back here, 1, 2, 3 spot welds here. See if I can get the camera in here and hang upside down with you guys and show you how to weld this. I did the first one and it was absolutely a blast. I'm gonna try to get this one here with the camera and the welder and my head and everything all tucked inside here, and we'll see how this goes so you can kind of get a see for what it takes. So we're just filling in those little pre-drilled holes I did. So it's not really gonna take a whole lot, but we'll see how this one pans out. Give that one a B plus. Now what I'm going to keep doing is keep moving my vice grips down, keep the panels pulled together really tight. So I'll keep doing the same process till I get all these done. I got 3 upside down ones to do too. That one's a little better. Hold up good. And I'm also welding left-handed, so a handicap for that. Now, see about these upside down 3 here. They're upside down in that area. See if we can get just as lucky. And pull it up tight. Got those all done. Here's what it looks like on the outside of the car. Now, I said it's pulled up really tight and pretty clean. Got a little filler work here, like I said, when I welded that thing in, but I'm not going to get much better than that. This is looking real good. Now we'll come through here and pretty self-explanatory. I'll burn all those in pretty quick. Do the same thing to the other side, and we'll drop our spot welds in through here, and then across the bottom. So really, that's probably the worst part about it, is just getting in there and doing that. But I'd say the rest of this, you've seen this all before, so I don't think that's necessarily new, but I'll get it all welded in just the same. All right, now underneath the car, doing the tail panel, it's pretty self-explanatory. You tie the inner to the outer. I'll do the same technique here, put the screws in it, and take every other one back out and weld those up. All right, there's something here I wanted to show you. When I took the screws out and drilled it, that's kind of what it typically looks like. That's going to weld just fine. When we come down to this one, you can see the 2 layers separated. It's still drilled out okay, but that's not going to weld very good. So it's all right to come back here. I don't know if I showed anybody this or not. I mean, clamp it like that, and then that pulls that gap shut. So if you get it where they pop apart, no big deal. Clamp it, then weld it. Something a little tip I want to show you. But now, go ahead and finish burning all these in. I guess I was figuring part of the thing you want to see is maybe how to weld this corner in. I patched up all the spots where I nicked it when I cut it out, so that's all more gooder now. So I'm going to come through here now and put one here, 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 and I'll do those three. It's basically 6 spot welds through here, and coming to find out, all the repop panels, what I've heard back on my feedback is they all kind of have this crummy gap here. So if you really were critical, we could have cut that out, reshaped it, reconfigured it, but we're just going to put some seam sealer, fill that up. Not going to worry about this time around, but a little disappointed in the shape of that. Not the end of the world, but we'll go ahead and do these spot welds here. That's what we're going to do next. I'll go ahead and get the drill set up. Get my nut driver thing going here. Well, you just go right there. There. And I say normal fashion, remove every other screw. Change to the drill bit. Go. Now basically you just drill through the top layer, so there's only 2 layers here. And then we'll go ahead and weld those all solid. Well, don't forget turning the gas on. That'll work better. When it comes to welding, I typically go by the sound. It tells me a lot of how well or bad or dirty or good it's going to be when it's done. A little dirt in that one. I'm going to guess maybe some of that brazing material in there. As soon as I got it going, it popped out on me there. So now we'll do the same thing to the other 3 here. Meant to do that. Now these are probably going to be a little worn from welding. Maybe someday I'll buy 2 drills and I have one set up with a bolt driver and the other one set up with a drill. Oh, see what I did there? I drilled through both of them. So, still do the same thing, just a little trickier. Can't. All right, now I wanted you to see how that looks up nice and close. Now, I got a little pit there, but that one came out nice. You know, it popped everywhere. That's when I cut through both layers. But as you can see now, sandblasting all that clean, it's laid out almost perfectly flat. So no buffing really required on those welds. You really can't see that, but that's how I like to make those things look. So I've still got the trunk latch thing to weld in, and these 6 little welds here, then you actually got to tack weld that little thing right to it. But should go pretty quick. Then this is actually going to be all done. Well, let's get here and do this little, I guess the trunk latch support. Now, it is actually welded here inside of the channel the weather stripping rides in. About 6 to 7 spot welds through that channel. And then on the bottom, I actually marked the old one before I cut it out when I took the tail panel out, so you can see my marks here, there, and there, so I can position it right. And on the bottom, it's just they weld that in just a bead. They don't actually do any spot welds. It's actually just one big pass across each side of those. So next thing here, go ahead and drop my screws in like I normally do, weld the bottom of each side, and I should get this thing wrapped up pretty quick. Whoops. Now I debated using a small hole here, like slightly smaller diameter. It's not much room to work in this gutter here, but we'll go ahead and use it a 1/4 inch and see how that goes. Those are all welded in solid. That's not going to go. Sorry. Those are all welded in solid. That's not going to go anywhere now. Last thing is just tie the bottom in. I'm hoping this goes pretty good. This side, a little tack. Oop. And that should hold both those really good. You know, crazy enough, I was thinking the tail panel was going to be the tail end of our project, but technically, I guess you could say our trunk latch was the last piece we welded into this body panel. So now we have a rust-free, structurally sound, very nice, clean lines, all ready to, I guess you say, be media blasted now and start doing some body work. So We did it. It's done. The Great Pumpkin is now officially a rust-free body shell again, and didn't cost us $14,000 because we did it ourselves. Dynacorn makes a fantastic body shell for these cars. They look really nice. You can actually get with mini tubs, I think, too. But the problem is it's kind of a gray area, swapping VIN numbers around, meaning I believe it's 100% not lawful. You do what you want to do with that information, but this car is the original body with the VIN stamped in the dash, or I guess on the cowling and on the dash pad, and it matches the VIN number. So now we've got a complete original body reconditioned back to like new, or really close to like new condition, or maybe better. Body panel is lined up phenomenally. Super happy with the results. So, of course, you guys have been following the journey. You know what it all took to get here to this point. We've done, starting at the front, toe board repairs, and we did the outer rocker panel on the driver's side, inner rocker panels on both sides, complete one-piece floor pan, seat bases and replacing those. We did the rear frame rails, both sides. Unfortunately, the originals were a little, I say, crustier than I anticipated, and they didn't hold up, unfortunately. I was really hoping to salvage those, but just didn't feel that I've been happy with the results if we did. And then, of course, the trunk floor, we did that. Outer wheel wells, quarter panels, inner and outer tail panel, and, of course, the last thing I purchased was the trunk deck. So the question becomes, like the beginning of this series when we set up, how much does it cost to rebuild a 1968 Firebird? Man, that's kind of the goal here, to keep it all documented. So what's your guess what we have so far invested into this car? Let's go ahead and include about $400 in materials for welding gas, welding wire cutoff wheels, sanding disc, and of course I got a new face shield to keep my pretty face and my eyeballs intact. So something I want to, I guess, ask you is, what do you think it costs? Hit me up in the comments today. I'm going to do probably a whole separate video, go over all this, because that was the point of this. I don't want to know how much it costs to build these cars, just kind of an FYI. I got a pretty good feel, but I want to actually keep a running total on this, so I know exactly what it takes to get the car to look like this again. And the other thing is, how many hours? If someone can guess this on the nose, or within 5 hours, I'll send you a prize. I'm not sure what it'll be, maybe a t-shirt, but if you can guess how many hours included tearing the car apart, you saw the video of me pulling the subframe, the sheet metal, the interior, everything apart, and to the point where I am right now. I'll send you a t-shirt. So hit me up in the comments. Give me your guesses on how many hours invested into it so far, and maybe how many dollars so far, not including labor. Labor is zero. But anyway, enough of that. And the shiny white car there in the other bay, Trans Marauder, we're going to the Trans Am Nationals this weekend, taking the crew, whole family. We're going to go there Saturday, be there Sunday. So if you see the car, I should be somewhere nearby or walking around, or I should be wearing my cool shirts too if you guys like get one. I'm going to get you one of the old YouTube store here. Check it out in the old link at the bottom. But want to say hi, find me, great. I'd like to meet quite a few of you. Got some people that asked if I was going to be there. So yes, the answer is I will be there, weather permitting. If it's storming, I probably may not go, but I guess we'll see. But anyway, next go around, we're going to start working on tearing that engine apart. We're going to change hats out. We're going to go from body working and metal working and welding to maybe do a little engine diagnosis, kind of find out why that thing was smoking. So we're going to change hats for a little bit here on the old Vinyl Village Garage, Firebird Restoration Station. We're going to see what's happening inside that engine. So if you want to see that, stay tuned, hit subscribe, share with your friends. But nonetheless, I got a cold snack. I got a victory dance here I got to go do, and sit back, relax, and enjoy what I've gotten accomplished, and get the back in Blackbird put back in here because it's getting ready to storm. So anyway, I'll get the camera back out. We'll tear into the engine hopefully next time around, and we'll see you then.